Hello, hello, hello. I am author and entrepreneur, the Cerebral Palsy Vigilante, Zachary Fennell. That moniker, Cerebral Palsy, or CP for short, CP Vigilante, my friend James helped me come up with. James is an integral part of what I would call my team. I am not talking about as teammates on an athletic field, although James did join me twice in walking 26.2 miles to become a two-time marathoner. Instead, I am talking about being teammates in the metaphorical game you and I know as life. Perhaps you've heard the phrase before: teamwork makes the dream work. Today, I wish to adapt that phrasing and suggest teamwork makes cerebral palsy work. The idea that CP takes a team effort can be seen in the United States of America's education system with the ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, and the IEP, Individualized Education Program. An IEP for a student is put together by an IEP team, a team comprised of the student, their parents or guardians, appropriate therapists, teachers, and possible others. While the formal team aspect may end upon graduation, I have found from my personal experiences living with CP, you can only realize your full potential through teamwork. This is evident by my aforementioned marathon achievement, but also elsewhere in my life. Since I already mentioned the marathons, should we begin there? Yes? Good, good. At the start of this video, I mentioned James and described him as an integral part of my team. His role includes being that teammate who takes you to the next level. See, due to my CP, I originally wrote off the goal of completing a marathon as unreasonable. Instead, I believed a half marathon would be my peak physical achievement. James, however, believed in me and persistently asked, when are you going to do a full marathon? When are you going to do a full marathon? Finally, I said I would do a full marathon if he did it with me. Everything moved forward from there, which you can read all about in my cerebral palsy memoir, marathon memoir, Slow and Cerebral. I described the book as a memoir about accomplishing the unreasonable. Of course, there's much more involved than simply having a teammate to push you out of your comfort zone. A marathon requires dedication, training, and preparation. Keeping to the team sport analogy, you can learn how to dedicate yourself to train and prepare by talking to veterans on your team. So in my marathon scenario, experienced marathoners. One individual especially stood out for me in my discussions with experienced marathoners: John W. Quinn. John also has cerebral palsy, which allowed him to give me particular helpful insights marathoners without CP might overlook. Advice like train with any mobility devices you will be using race day. A piece of advice which lingered in my mind as I internally debated about whether to use my cane for the marathon to help counteract my balance. Although my internal debate would have been frivolous if not for teamwork elsewhere. Besides balance, another issue which led me to believe a marathon would be unreasonable for me was time. The marathon course I eyed completing was the Towpath Marathon. Even with the official early start time, I would only have 7.5 hours to finish. With cerebral palsy and my slower pace, I knew I would need more time than that. Therefore, I reached out to the race organizers and inquired about starting even earlier, an accommodation they were willing to make. Their collaboration providing additional teamwork to make becoming a marathoner with CP possible for me. Now, beyond the marathon example, teamwork is evident in everyday life. To help loosen my spastic muscles, I am on oral baclofen, taking 3 pills a day. Prescription medicine I have access to because of my doctor, making my doctor part of my metaphorical team. Professionally, with my civilian job at the library, the possible need to travel to and from my branch within a shift presented a concern for me. As a non-driver, I knew the potential transportation task could present obstacles. Therefore, when I interviewed for the position in 2021, I made a point to be transparent with the interviewers, which included the library branch manager and department supervisor, leaders of my hopefully new workplace team. Despite knowing my transportation limits, they still offered me the job, deciding my genuine nature, enthusiastic personality, and excellent customer service would be an asset to their workplace. Just to note, those descriptors were used by the branch manager in his email to staff announcing my hire, not my own self-praise. Ultimately, they decided working around my transportation limits was a fair trade-off for what I would bring to the workplace. As far as the details for what the working around my transportation limits looks like, I'm either exempt or switch responsibilities with a coworker. Anyway, let's not allow these details to overshadow the main point. Transparency with your team is key to figuring out how to work together. A smaller lesson in today's overall message: teamwork makes cerebral palsy work. For further proof of that, make sure to check out Slow and Cerebral. I will leave an Amazon link in the video's description for you to check out. While down there, also make sure to hit the thumbs up icon to tell YouTube and the world you enjoyed today's video. Then keep the conversation going in the comments by telling me who is an integral part of your team. How so? Finally, if you want to be notified every time I publish a new video, make sure you are subscribed to my channel and have rung the bell icon. Until next time, remember, don't blend in, blend out.